Karibu sana to another Sanaa kwa Sanaa Sunday session on this 15th day of February 2026. Shukran sana kwa kuwa hapa. Asante sana for your time. Idea ya hii session ya leo ni kuongelea no skip albums na MWE kwa mara ingine. Tuko wiki ya pili ya the music writer exercise ya huu mwaka, so tutaiongelea pia, tugusie no skip albums. Ina stem from a tweet niliona jana, which ni something that nimefikiria kwa muda. Ikija kwa Kenyan music, we will get into that, not just also based on music generally, because hizi ni conversations zile space ya hip hop have sana ikija kwa kudiscuss discographies, quality ya discographies na such conversations, so we shall get to that. Shukran kwa kuwa hapa. Kama kawaida, si lazima nikukumbushe kulike the video, but juu maybe unapenda reminders, maybe that's how you work better and you function better. Sita kukastigate for that, so there goes your reminder, kulike the video.
The sun in my days, love me in so many ways, from my toes to my fingers. You're the story that lingers. I find sun in my days, in so many ways, from my toes to my fingers. You're the story that lingers. I find new ways to say I'm in love with you. There's shadows dancing over our heads. There's birds singing in the trees. I'm singing in all major keys and counting my blessings, unabated infinitely with midday intensity. Oh, sing to me sunsettingly and hold me indefinitely. Color me days, I'm in awe of your face and your toes and your fingers. I'm proceeding unhindered. I pride in all the ways you make me in love with you. There's shadows dancing over our heads. There's birds singing trees. I'm singing in all major keys and counting my blessings, unabated infinitely with midday intensity. Oh, sing to me sunsettingly and hold me indefinitely. I'll wait up for you. Tell me your stories, fall asleep knowing that I'll wake up to you. Light through my doorway, we'll talk till mid-morning. I'll wake up to you, my soul.
Again, karibu sana to another Sanaa kwa Sanaa Sunday session on this 15th day of February. Tumefika katikati ya mwezi. Shukran sana kwa kuwa hapa. As always, kama wewe ni mtu wa reminders, ndio hiyo reminder yako, ama ndio hii reminder yako, like the video because the algorithm needs it. Ndio wanipatie attention na traction, and then also for the sake of my validation, I also need it. So such things. Bnm Games and Faith and Ndathe, welcome. Glad to see new names here. Yes, you can subscribe for sure. Definitely. So as nimesema, tutaongelea no skip albums stemming from a tweet niliona jana, then tutaongelea MWE because tuko 2 weeks into MWE. Leo ni the 15th, we are left with 13 days to go. Kama tuhesabu leo 14, tukihesabu leo 13 days to go to malize Ice Blood Gaming, ECITYDANCEHALL, 0 to 7, new names. YouTube is doing the thing. So like the video so that YouTube keeps doing the thing that it does. Faith says, okay, I have subscribed. Thank you, Faith. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Asante sana. So kwa sababu si preachingi gospels fulani zile watu huwa hamsikizi, kile nimecheza kama unatusikizanga uko familia na unaijua, lakini kama hausikizangi sermons that tunahubiri, hiyo si kitu uko familia nayo, na unfortunately, so unfortunate for you, unfortunate pia for us, because inamaanisha injili haifiki vile inafaa kufika, but it's fine. Tutaendelea kuhubiri, tunahubiri injili kadhaa, so tutasisitiza na tutaendelea kuhubiri hizi injili, so it's fine. The reason nimeanza nayo ina tie to the no skip albums conversation that nataka tuwe nayo for hii session. The first part of this session ilikuwa a tweet by @curated by Bon, nalikuwa muuliza watu wa name their no skip albums, their no skip Kenyan albums. Watu walikuwa wanapeana majina za albums zile ni no skip albums. Ningetaka sana kujua what albums you think zili come up. So tuanzie hapo, what albums you think zilitajwa, what projects you think zilitajwa. Then secondly, ningetaka pia kujua your no skip albums. As nimesema some moments ago, hizi ni conversations that happen a lot in the hip hop world, but also in international music spaces that discuss music, arts, that discuss culture, impact your albums, impact your projects za different artists. Hizi ni conversations that happen all the time, na pia ni vitu utaonanga on Twitter every now and then, people just asking that question. So it's a thing that I have thought about for quite some time ikija kwa Kenyan music. Niliona hilo swali jana, nilikuwa curious kama kawaida kuona vitu watu wange mention. Ndio nimesema ningetaka kuona what you think watu walitaja, kisha pia kujua your no skip Kenyan albums importantly. No, they are not. Unaweza si kuna comments, someone is texting me akiniambia comments are off. Zi it seems ni wewe na vile unatumianga YouTube. Si kuna watu wana comment. Acha niangalie na side ingine, cause kuna comments unaziona, ni kuziona huzioni, ama ni a matter of wewe huwezi comment. You people have just commented, so sijui kama ni wewe. Ni wewe, you're the problem. Nimeconfirm juu naweza wana all the comments na pia naweza comment nikitaka, so wewe ndiye shida. Wewe ndio the problem, alafu unakuja kuuliza kama kuna shida hapa. Wewe ndiye shida, jiulize maswali. So again, like the video kama uko hapa. Pia let me know that uko hapa. Vile nimesema, the tweet ilikuwa from @curated by Bonn, BONN. Akiambia watu wa mention their no skip albums. Mwenye amecomment ndio alikuwa anauliza Abi alikuwa anauliza kama comments ziko off. Finally the industry builder, that's Abi. Umesikiza so much Kenyan music, your best kuanzisha na kujibu maswali that nimeuliza ni kwanza, what albums do you think people mentioned, alafu pia of course as always unajua vile muku pesta uniambie pia your no skip Kenyan albums. So before to get into that, as Abby and you who is also here but hauja sema that uko hapa, type kwa comment section. Ningependa kujua something I've noticed this pia over time. Most people pia hawajui difference kati ya albums na EPs na mixtapes. As long as it's a body of work, it's an EP, it's an album, it's both, it's all of them. So I noticed that nikiangalia the responses, which ni kitu nimenotice whenever kuna such conversations or watu wanaambiwa waongele albums wanapenda or whatever it is that aligns with this conversation, utaonanga tu EP zimetupwa ndani and vice versa, which is the realization that nimekuwa nikiona ya watu hawajui difference ni gani kati ya an EP na an album. I once talked about this kwa Asante Session Live kitambo, nikibreak down the album, nikiongelea the EP, where the EP comes from, hiyo history ya an EP and the LP years ago, how music was recorded and how music was released and disseminated and distributed, then the EP, and then kuona over time how the distribution and the production of music may change, which ties to how people are packaging the music. Hizi terminologies zimekuwa zikimeld into each other na zimelose distinctions. A mixtape, an EP, an album, a mixtape being something so specific to hip-hop culture as compared to other genres. Hata kukuwa na a mixtape in this day and age is something that hip-hop artists still do. Huku, it's rare. It's so rare kuna mtu anafanya a mixtape. So rare kuna mtu anafanya a mixtape. Na itakuwa people wenye wako tied to hip-hop culture in that way na understand what the mixtape meant, what the mixtape means. So your idea ya the mixtape. But tying to a conversation ya an EP na an album, as Abi anasema na msini quote na kuquote how meta, it's true. Not so many people know the difference. In a safe comment, Abi, this is nothing controversial. In safe. Plus OG Sunday Sessions members wanajua huku siusema kila kitu. This is where we say it all. 10 people here. Asante for being part of this session and for liking the video. If you have not liked the video, tafadhali, the algo needs it. My validation needs it too. My survival depends on it, importantly, apart from my validation. You can refuse kuni validate, but because it's important for my survival, do the thing. So what only mention a number of projects, definitely tying to what I have said kuhusu Sunday Sessions na ethos. Asante for the easy Sunday Sessions. You definitely know that I disagree with most of the takes. Nothing new. Most of the projects that watu walitaja z I think it's less than 5 that naweza sema hizi ni no skip albums. Another take that I have na Abi, acha kucheka, hebu niambie what you think people mentioned, na niambie pia your, but Abi najua Abi anabeba industry, so unaweza kosa kujibu what you consider your no skip albums, but pia unaweza isema tu hapa na tutakuquote if that's what you want. Tutakuquote, but you can say what you think people said. Before niseme point yangu, I quote tweeted it nikisema it's interesting that most of the albums, na most ni 95, 97, even 98% of albums zile watu walitaja ni albums za 2020 onwards. There is that. Nimepeana some thoughts on why I think that's the case just some moments ago before nikuje kwa hii live. Then my other take ni, I would argue that kuna more no skip albums 2020 backwards than 2020 onwards, if you ask me. Another thing that nitasema about our relationship na music in the 2020s, ili part of my observation na my thinking about this and through this. A majority of the people who are responding and a majority of listeners of Kenyan music from 2020s onwards hawana a lot of interactions na experiences na knowledge of 2020 prior. In the responses, ungeiona. Khasoha Pauline, hi everyone, hi to you as well. Thank you for being here. I only saw a handful of albums zilizotajwa that were released before 2020. One was Nonini's 2000 and is it 6 Hanyaring game, 6 or 4? The other one was Nimefika ya Isa, that I can remember, which I think came from one person. Abi, please. It's fine, Abi. Tunajua ulianza kusikiza Kenyan music lini. It's okay. Please, tupe tu list. Again. If you care about my survival, na kama unajali kuhusu Sanaa sana, because people don't, the least you can do ku-extend lifeline ya Sanaa sana would be just kutupatia list yako. So hii ni kitu nili notice. So apart from Isa Nonini, hakukuwa na klepto mention. So album zile watu wali blackmail now. Wow, hakuna blackmail. It's pure truth. Again, I do not act like the rest of you who act like your oppressors. I do not blackmail. Just say the truth. Just state the truth. One of my theories or observations, thoughts, was that the responses that were there to hilo swali ni indicative of the age groups na generations of the listeners. It reminds me of something niliuliza hapa kwa a Sunday session a month ago or more kuhusu rappers watu wenye wako in their 30s plus wanasikiza Kenyan rappers. Ningependa pia kufanya that sort of research or survey kuona watu in their 30s plus what Kenyan albums wangesema ni no skip albums. Returning to the thought ya watu kutodistinguish an EP na an album, watu in their 30s plus have a different relationship with the album as a format, the album as an experience. As compared to people who are younger, but sana people in definitely early 20s, hapo hadi mid somewhere. Juu watu in their late 20s pia wako na some experiences with albums that ni different from the other group, but because of what the album as a format ilimanisha, how tulikuwa tuna access music, how tulikuwa tuna experience music, that has been changing. Also the experience ya music with streaming changes how you interact with the music, also how you listen to the music. Juu the music iko kwa a streaming site, unaisikiza as unafanya something else, unaiplay kwa your shop or kwa your establishment, whatever it is, as things are happening, unaisikiza passively. I was talking about this na Akili Black a week or so ago have a conversation on music na AI, which we have been having a lot since end of last year. I've also been having those conversations na Abi, which as Sanaa kwa sana, as the troublemakers we are, we should have that conversation. I was talking to Kakusha earlier today about what it takes to get yourself to a Kenyan artist listening party. Things I've also discussed na our dear Abby here, the industry builder. But being the troublemakers that we are, kurudi kwa hiyo point, tunafaa tu kuwa na a fully fleshed out conversation hapa on music in AI. So, as I was saying, nisome comments. Nyanchama amesema kama a 70 plus a 70 plus year old listener, rappers nasikiza ni number 1 wewe, number 2 wewe, number 3 wewe. Interesting. Sijui wewe ni nani, but nitamcheck out. Una recommend nini kutoka wewe? Ningependa sana kucheck out. Now I'm always curious kusikiza rappers na vitu rappers wanasema. Sana from a 70 plus year old, kuona vitu mnasikiza. Unajua rap is definitely different for your age group. Totally different. I'm curious. Again, if you're here, like the video. As nilikuwa ninasema, na Abi, hii list yako usiogope. The passivity that streaming ime affect gravely our relationship na music. I've talked about intentionally listening to music. It's a factor, an element that nilisema ningetaka tufikirie going into MWE this year. Intention ya kusikiza a body of work, the listening to a body of work, the album as a format, those kind of elements when tuna get into MWE. The passivity of streaming is tied to the availability, the accessibility, the ubiquity of the music. It's there, it's somewhere, unaweza access anytime, unaweza access almost anything that unataka. You are not exchanging much access, ni $2, $3, $4 na una access muziki from the entire globe. But when ulikuwa unanunua the music, ukinunua unaweza kuwa na hiyo CD, msanii amekutumia a soft copy, so utai-download to your phone, utai-download to your flash, utaweka the flash kwa your car, utaweka the flash kwa your laptop, utaiplay kwa whatever system you have, kama ni kama ni kwa gari, or kama ni unaisikia through your laptop, or uko nayo kwa your establishment, or uko nayo na utaiplay ukihang out with your people kwa systems zao in their houses or wherever. Kama ni hiyo CD utairip utransfer those songs maybe to something that ni portable kwako kutembea nayo. Ukienda hata as far back as iPods, different conversation altogether, hata kutoona kile unasikiza for those kind of iPods. It's just a different relationship altogether, but kulikuanga na hiyo intention ya the moving or the transferring of the music from one place to another, or having the music na kuisikiza in that way. Not thinking I'd love to listen to this album, have this album, get this album, etc, etc. So Brenda says, wow, ukisema CD I feel so old. Thank heavens jesema ile tape ya kuzungusha tapes. Wow. Unajua kile ni interesting, and thanks to Naomi for being here, a new name here, so thank you for joining. Nimekuwa nikifikiria of revisiting tapes, cassette tapes that I have. I usually have a core memory of dubbing myself on tape. I've been thinking about it sana, and I want to find it, as well as just kupitia tapes zile niko nazo. Tapes is a yo and the side A and the side B, yo, and hata yo, and tapes ni fascinating because of the tape na kuona tape ikimove from one side to the other. Or I'm thinking of CD changers. CD changers were a thing. They were a thing, moving from a system that ingechukua 1 to 3 disc changer, 5 disc changer, na uko na slots za CDs tofauti, and kuweka CD 3 simultaneously, and then moja ikiisha inaenda kwa alafu kusikia the disc ndani ya the system ikirotate. That the tactile nature and the tactile element of kusikiza music, right? Ukifikiria kuzungusha tape, ukifikiria kushika vinyl or kufungua vinyl na open na kuangalia the liner notes na kusoma, kuweka the vinyl kwa your player, or exchange CD na an artist. Umempatia do, amekupatia CD, unatembea na CD kwenda mtaa. Kwanza kwa hip hop shows that used to happen a lot. Kufikiria of the tape na kuizungusha, kuitoa, kufikiria of your iPod, kufikiria of the Discman na kuibeba na those things that ni subtle ni important sana ikija kwa how tuna interact na music, as compared to kwenda kwa Play Store kudownload an app that gives you everything. Na the idea of availability na accessibility vis-a-vis the scarcity or just having what you can have. And of course, this isn't nostalgia based. It's just an analysis and a comparison of the consumption habits and patterns and behaviors that the digital era of kusikiza music imeleta, na kuangalia the difference in hizo experiences. So such things, just thinking about that. So the idea of the album and experiencing music in that way, and what that album meant in its specificity, or the mixtapes, is something that, right, young listeners have as part of their experience with music and listening. Then how could you the differences between the album, the mixtape, the EP. Something that I saw kwa the comments, and whatever I'm discussing to Naomi and any other person who has joined in a stem from a tweet niliona, and that's why this video titled No Skip Albums, the first part of the title. And Abby, I'm still waiting for your list. I want to know what Kenyan albums need no skip albums. Then what Kenyan albums you think people said need no skip Kenyan albums. I was mentioning this kwa sababu I made your observation. Yeah, most of the albums that watu walitaja is the 2020 onwards. Then nika get into kudiscuss post 2020, the relationship with the album, the relationship with the mixtape, the differences, album, EP, the differences in experience for different age groups, different generations. That's where haya mazungumzo yameanzia na yakatuleta hapa. Nimeshare observation ya the albums being the 2020 plus, a few albums being before then, which is the same point really. Nimeongelea watu kuto tell na kuto distinguish the album and the EP. Onika make the claim that nadhani kuna more no skip albums pre 2020 than post 2020. The other observation that nime make ni most of the albums ni Afropop na Afrofusion albums, and a few of those ni rap and hip hop albums. I have mentioned this before, ikija kwa Kenyan music and our zeitgeist musically. Maybe I'm sijui Kenyan hip hop to me ko sijui kama ni interesting, sijui kama ni weird, sijui kama ni a limbo kind of space. Sijui which term fits best. Could you describe from the way that naiona? It's something I have sat with for quite some time. From maybe 2024, I wanted to do a video on it, a short video on it, which ilikuwa based on a Spotify playlist ya New Nairobi music, New Kenyan music. I mentioned this when nilikuwa naongelea the death of the cypher, the death of the radio freestyle, erasure ya wapi MCs, some of my best work, if you ask me. Just those breakdowns, those analysis. I mean, I've done this for such a long time. It's the least I can do. Tas jumbona najichocha na najipatia sifa. When I was referring to the question I asked kuhusu watu wako 30 plus na rappers wanasikiza, ilikuwa pia informed with these thoughts na hizo observations za Kenyan hip hop. A distinction that I even mentioned then, siongeli Kenyan rap na rap. People are rapping, definitely. People are rapping. Urban not on a rap, gengeton not on a rap, definitely. But naongelea Kenyan hip hop. Naongelea hip hop. See rap as an element of hip hop, but hip hop. So a few albums were hip hop and rap albums. No one that I saw mentioned Brooklyn Boys, but Wakadinali wali come up mara kadhaa, na kulikuwa na ndani ya Cockpit 2 na 3 na Victims of Madness 1 na 2. again, going back to what I've said with streaming, accessibility, by the time wakardinali were releasing ndani ya Cockpit 2 walikuwa na more eyes on them than previously, but still not as much. That was 2018. I have a copy of that album here. Nilionyesha kwa my video nikireactia ndani ya Cockpit 3 nikijiseparate from the rest, nikisema please if you're watching this reaction video usidhani tunafanana as far as our experience of this trio, tafadhali. Some of us knew them before they even became a trio. But for 2 na 3 ndani ya Cockpit 1 I think I was streaming, and that was 2016. Ilikuwa bado hiyo era ya utave kupush CD ndio upate the music, but kuwa na VOM 1 that's 2020 with their extra pressures na triple XLs, so their popularity by that time ilikuwa sasa ina take off properly. Drill was part of that movement, that moment. Pia then VOM 2 toka last year, of course. By this time tunaongelea level tofauti ya their popularity. Then ndani ya Cockpit 3, of course, by that time pia a different level of popularity, hit songs zao back to back, so it's different. So hata ukiangalia hizo albums zile watu walikuwa nataja zao, inaweza pia kuonyesha the projects that watu wamesikiza of theirs, like tying to era ile wanasikiza the music in, na the songs the albums that wanaweza access as compared to other projects. Abi finally responds and types. Ana sikuwa nimesema 2025, I was just saying I said 2020, but it's fine. And also Brenda Naomi alikuwa amesema back in the day when you had a CD changer you were the guy. No, definitely CD changer kwa magical. Uko nazo kadhaa za last year. No, unaweza zimention. Obviously ulisikiza more projects za last year than myself, so than me, so unaweza zitaja tu, but Abi anasema before 2025 zangu ni Lisa Odornoa, Lisa's debut, The Lion of Suda, Ben Soul's debut. Yes, Ben Soul's. Kusikiza Abi, this is not for me, this is what you need to remember. Kusikiza podcast yangu na huyu anajua naongea nani kweli? Abi anajua naongea nani kweli? Ama anasikianga tu sana kwa sana. Unasikianga tu bado uja learn kuniheshimu na kujua this is not for me, Abi. You know better. The Lion of Suda, Ben Soul's debut, Back to Basics ya Muringi, Unintentional ya Njerai, Nyumbani ya Ali Fresh na Mura, Formation ya Honsphere, I believe that is their sophomore, because Sherehe was their debut, ya Tuli Review, and Savage Level ya Savara. So out of this, I think someone mentioned Lisa Odornoa. Someone mentioned, and I think more than one person alitaja Unintentional ya Njerai na Savage Level ya Savara. It would be a tall order to expect kuona Hornsphere, Ali Fresh, Namura, Muringi kwa nini za watu, again tying to Afropop na Afrofusion in those genres as far as popularity. Na mawazo zangu za what we are listening to na our range, the musical experience. Whenever people talk about this past few years, whenever watu wameongelea Kenyan music, a majority of the names zitakuwa Afropop na Afrofusion artists. I've been thinking a lot kuhusu sounds na exploration ya sounds, where Kenyan artists are willing, or Kenyan music practitioners wako willing kuenda, wako willing kuexplore relationship ya audience na sounds na music wanasikiza. Last week niliona Suki Murage, mwandishi pia a podcaster, alikuwa anafanyanga, alikuwa na podcast on The Good Company, Breaking Hearts na Hafare. So huyu ni someone I respect and whose work also inajiongelea na range yake ya music, understanding yake ya music. One of those people wenye in the space, si watu wenye their names you will see or hear or know about, but definitely deserving of your recognition na your acknowledgement. Sana unge watching their podcast, just their breadth of knowledge ikija kwa music na range yao, ungeiona ye na Hafari. Both of them have worked with artists and musicians in the space, ama practitioners, as I'd be saying, that is wild in the space. Alikuwa naongelea kwenda kwa certain new club which has the makings na potential of being an amazing space, but alikuwa concerned kuhusu the selection, the music that was being played. Alikuwa anauliza where is our range, the music that tunacheza, the repetitive, ni the same, a certain mold, and repeat, rinse, repeat. And alikuwa anauliza kuhusu range, and the question of the act, mwenye ni the DJ, the question of the owners of the club, the question of the revelers and the attendees, na watu in the club. And this always speaks to process ya creation, what is informing someone's choices, and where the audience always comes in, something I have discussed a lot hapa. Audience wanaingilia wapi kwa kile unafanya, and at what point in that relationship, and thinking about that. So it's the same thing with what we are listening to, what is being given the most visibility, and the whys of that, the whys of what we are gravitating to, the whys of nini napatiwa certain visibility, the whys of why are these the artists we know and love. Juu hizo decisions, hizo realities, right, has it happened to by the sake of happening, especially in an algorithmic era, then especially in a space where a lot is tied to survival and being in constant survival mode. We see that in our artistic and cultural output and production. So ziko tied in so many ways, na ni vitu that lazima tufikirie kwa our output, na what we are producing and what we are listening to, what we are getting, what we are gravitating to. So sound iko na hiyo relationship na nini hatusikizi, nini hatuko aware of, ama nini tukisikiza tuko averse to or we repel, etc. Like kuna hizo conversations that we have to think about because everything iko interlinked. Hizo ni some things that nilikuwa nafikiria nikiangalia what people walikuwa wanataja, ni ideas nimekaa nazo na observations nimemake for quite some time when it comes to our space na artists wenye they'll come up kwa hizi list. So for me it's always interesting nikiona hizo majina. They are not mainstream, but to me they are common names. So when those names come up, because that's someone I know or anaanza kujulikana ama anajulikana. Tell me something I do not know. But again, this is coming from someone mwenye that's the kind of environment na era nili grow up in, ya kutaka kusikiza something that no one else knows about na kudig na kutafuta to music na kuenda all the way kujua an artist mwenye hakuna mse anasikiza, hakuna mse anajua. Kulikuwa na a certain level of pride in that, but an excitement na a thrill and just searching for sounds, searching for sonic ideas, searching for artists wenye wana explore, wana push, wana create, wana craft. There is an enjoyment and a thrill for me in that, and that has remained to be true. So that's also why I end up not liking a lot of things. Of course I am the problem, definitely I'm the problem. But there is that in pushing sound or experimenting with sound and how the audience relates and reacts to that, but also in pushing thematic scope and how its audiences relate to and react to that. Thematic scope is another thing. Ukiangalia most of the projects that watu wametaja, ukifikiria their sound unaona zina play in the same mold. Ukifikiria vitu zinaongelea utapata zina play in the same field. So baadhi ya mawazo niliyokuwa nayo, reason nilianza na kucheza, what I started with nikisema kama umekuwa ukisikia injili nimekuwa nikihubiri, unajua huyo ni nani na uko familia. Kama hujasikia hii injili, unfortunate for you, juu husikizi, and for me ka mwenye analeta hii sermon, sasa kama injili haifiki tunavua aje watu? Problems. But that's Michelle Gatwiku, and the song is Soleil from her debut EP and her only EP and her only project to date aliyotoa in 2021, January of 2021. We have a conversation on this platform, an entire conversation interview with Michelle, insightful, fun, eye-opening kuhusu hiyo EP that you should watch. Definitely recommend. So for me, that's an EP that is a no skip EP. So nikifikiria of projects in general, that's a no skip EP. It's 5 songs. Sundays for Harvey, Sky Up Above, Soleil, and I'm forgetting, and Equator Winter. Oh. I remember Abby. I've just said nikifikiria project. Abby sijui. I just remember tukiongelea Waves / Equator Winter. Tukiongelea even the phrasing and the framing of Equator Winter, and then the music. So I thought about Michelle just as far as, because generally kija kwa projects, since nikaa Abby hajanisikia ama ametype before amalize kunisikia, are you behind? Hebu refresh. Nilikuwa nimesema ikija tu kwa projects, I thought about Michelle. Then again ikija kwa the Kenyan zeitgeist, you will never, almost never see Kenyan jazz artist on that list, or on those lists, or on those responses na quotes. Never. Which we'll do a video on this as Sanaa kwa Sana. We'll definitely do. Oh, there's a video we are supposed to release. Oh, only Sanaa kwa Sana kind of conversations and kind of tutafanya a video on hii topic. Nimehang kidogo, nimerudi. Tutafanya a video definitely on hii topic, niko sawa. Ask me na nitakwambia Jack Muguna's Journey of the Soul, his debut album ya 2021, no skip album, March of 2021 if I recall correctly. Sinanga memory mzuri hivyo, I try. Jack Mugu, no skip album, no skip album. But pia jazz is such a niche thing in our space, such a niche thing in our space, very very much so, very much so. Na pia jazz si a genre that is the most translatable to the listener. Kama si kitu uko familiar with, kama uko into live performances, inakuanga tricky watu kuelewa what jazz is and kusikiza jazz. Kama Roger has told us this anecdote, vile alikuwa na play ya best yake Boldman Love Better, na ilifika point where best yake alikuwa anamuuliza na huyu Aaron Rimbui ataanza kuimba saa ngapi? I'll give you another one. Kuna time nilikuwa nasikizia Potluck on YouTube, ama nilikuwa napitia the Potluck audios on YouTube, and kwa a comment on one of the videos someone was saying na Fancy Fingers utaanza kuimba saa ngapi? Lyrics, vocals ziko wapi? Potluck ni sophomore album ya Fancy Fingers, alitoa 2022. Si jazz but ni an instrumental project. So also our relationship na instrumental projects na instrumental music is also another thing. Hizi ni vitu niche. Utapata kina Eddie Gray, kina Aaron Rimbui, kina Jacob Asio wakiwa na gigs, kina Kavutha, kina McKinley, kina Jack Muguna wakiwa na gigs. Yes, but ni very niche, right? So there's that. So our relationship pia, again going back to what nimesema, sounds tunasikiza, music tunasikiza, how we interact with them, how we relate to them, hapo kuna story. Karori, shukran sana for being here. Sema Eddie Gray. Yes, Eddie Gray. Oh. One of the best experiences is watching Eddie Gray live. Such a master. Such a master. Such a master. Now speaking of Aaron Rimbui na Eddie Gray, kuna video existing on this channel ya Eddie Gray akiperform na Aaron Rimbui na Amanibaya Gecko in 2021. So Karori anasema experience team with Juliani. Wakiwa wapi? So in thinking about perfect project or no skip, something else kunafikiria ni hiyo whether a no skip means perfect, whether ni synonymous. You also I don't think tukona it's hard to make a perfect album. It's difficult. One, I disagree with a lot of the takes on the no skip albums. I'd love to see what people think are perfect albums. Yeah, I'll ask the crew hizi maswali. I want us to make a video on this. Yes. Unasaka naona Karori ni mtu wa Juliani, and I want to ask Karori. I know Karori's favorite Juliani album. But I'll ask Karori this here. Juliani akona no skip albums ngapi, if at all, na ni gani? Cha tusikie from Karori. Anasema ilikuwa KNT. Juliani was a featured artist kwa Poets You Should Know. 2022 I think. Sikuendanga yo haikuwa nini? Haikuwa kwani open mic. Unajua alikuwa featured kwani open mic. But niambie, if you're watching this as well, umesikia Juliani, ningependa kusikia sentiments. Does Juliani have a no skip album? And if yes, gani? I want to hear. Just so we are also clear on some things. Niko nazo hapa. I actually do. Speaking of albums, our interactions with albums, our experiences are albums, kununua mziki, matters za intentionality, nini, etc. So, iko tu hapa as a matter of fact. So I have this. Just so you know what's in here. Unveiling. Karori, wewe mwenye number one fan. Wewe mwenye number one fan. Ebu tuma yako tuone. Pulpit Co Street, Mtaa Mentality, Exponential Potential. The order of release of course ni Mtaa Mentality 208, Pulpit Co Street 2011. Alifunga barabara ya City Hall akifanya Pulpit Co Street. Because of the idea of pulpit, it was a revolutionary thing. Wild. Exponential Potential 2014. And then niko na Masterpiece pia. Masterpiece ni ya 2021. Niko na Masterpiece pia hapa. Again, we are not the same. We are not. So Karori says exponential potential was mine, a masterpiece, no skips. Outside of that, sijasikiza his works as a whole. Mini fraud. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, I always have to remember. I always have to remember who I am whenever I read such comments. I always have to remember who I am and the work that I have done and how I have existed in music for a long time. I always have to remember. Jumusa how. Then Abby says, "How old are you again?" ah, you know, funny, not funny, but interesting story. Ningejua I would show this, ningezitoa mapema ni waonyeshe before I got easy copies za Pulpit na Mta Mentality. Nilikuwa na bootlegged versions of those albums. Nilikuwa, kwa CDs zile zimeandikwa juu Pulpit, kwa street Mta Mentality na Mta Mentality yes hiyo pia Mta Mentality pia bootleg versions nilikuwa bootleg versions. I think I should just, because we are here, I might as well chanike mwangaliange Juliani hapo nikiwatafutia hizo CDs, because nimeulizwa hapa niko na miaka mingapi. Also because tunafaa kuongelea MWE, Abi, unaweza anza na kutuambia mbona umegive up MWE? Unaweza anza na kutuambia mbona give up na Karori pia kwa hapa. Karori, my MWE people, unaweza anza kuniambia your experiences zimekuwaje 2 weeks in as we get into that conversation. Tupatie miaka. Karori says akicheka, then Abi says hakuna kama wewe for real. Ningetaka hiyo story ya kufunga tao. Pia nikisema hizi vitu mu realize I know too much. Kwa writing workshop I did ya Gute in October last year, I brought up story ya Kalamashaka kujaza ama kuperform kwa a field stadium in 98. And ilikuwa that session ilikuwa na Olivia Mbani, ilikuwa na Vera Omwocha, if I'm mistaking the name, Samahani, na ilikuwa pia na Jim Chuchu. Na people were telling me they did not know that story. I realized, I know too much. I just know things. Then skasa yabi kusoma ningetaka hiyo story ya kufunga tao. That happened. Let's move through this nile kama nitaipata. 98. Mimi. I love how I always give Abi more reasons why anafaa kuwa ananiheshimu. I appreciate that. Niwatafutie hizi projects niwaonyeshe. Nasema sija give up aki. Proper, Karori says. Have so much here. Niwatafutie. Nafaa kuona kile nafanya hapa nikipitia ma CD. This is wild. Wild behavior. I once showed this for my stories. Tan. Good kid, Mad City. This my city, I run my. Nimezipata. There we go, there we go. Just because you Sean Kendrick, tuoneshe pia my adversary J. Cole Bonsina. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and many, many more. And many, 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 many more. This is why you come to Sanaa kwa Sana, right? So, ilionyeshanga kwa my stories sometime last year juu tulikuwa na Paul Shiundu tukirecord a podcast. Then after the podcast we are done. It's a podcast that should be coming out soon also. It's an amazing podcast that tulifanya on Benga. That's an exclusive. Because you are here, I can give you that. We did a podcast on Benga. Okay, wait for that. So tunaongea tuna get kuongelea kuhusu na production, music production. Aniambia alikuwa anajua Sniper Jiganji. So Sniper Jiganji is a legendary producer aliyepass a few years ago. Aliproduce a lot of hip hop artists, including Kaka, including Calligraph. And aniambia alikuwa anajua Sniper. Then tuongelea pia Smalls Lethal na yeye kujua kina Smalls Lethal. And then ananiambia aliproduce a song kwa hii album ya Smalls Lethal. Then he sends me the beat a day or two after, and then naisikia, I just remember the song and everything ili flow. Nilikuwa nakumbuka the first time nikisikia hiyo ngoma, nikiplay CD kwa theater. So this is Smalls Lethal's Common Mwananchi. Ali launched in 2014 at Sarakasi Dome in Ngara. So bought this then. Again. Now, before to move on, ready to listen. Did you freestyle to the beat? Which one? Ya Pablo. Z. So, in the order of mta mentality, juu then pulpit vile zilitoka. Mta mentality, and then pulpit kwa street. Haikuandikwa vizuri but pulpit kwa street and mta mentality ndio fahamu. We are not the same, right? Important life reminders. But so before nipate easy years later, bootleg. Unaona hiyo pia ni kama ulikuwa unataka mziki, utatafuta mziki whichever version, because you want to listen. mziki utatafuta na so my experiences na hizi projects zilikuwa hivi. Before ni buy, so easy packages Juliani alizirelease in 2020, time ya COVID. April of 2020 ndo zirelease easy packages za nini, albums zake zote zilikuwa zina go for 1200 from what I remember. So hii ilikuwa before atoe Masterpiece. Alikuwa na wakia Masterpiece which ilitoka 2021 1. Masterpiece was 1200 or 14? 12, I think. I have Masterpiece as well here with me. So, unlike Fraud Karori, who's the number 1 fan, mi mwenyewe number 1 fan, niko na kazi zake zote. But again, interestingly enough, easy copies, people had them. Siku piratiwa, someone had mta mentality, and then pulpit kwa street. Different people. But sana I think pulpit. Mziki, okay. So Karori alikuwa anasema mimi I'm having so much fun. Mimi I'm having so much fun. This time the plan was to listen to genres or artists I'd normally go for. Actually before 20. So as nilikuwa nasema with Michelle, then to get into MWE tumalize. With Michelle and with jazz nilikuwa namfikiria as far as what I've said with our familiar sounds and our common sounds and common names and artists that tutataja kwa hiyo mold ya Afrofusion na Afropop. You'll see the same names. You'll see those names. To me nimeziona sana over this past few years, nimewasikia sana, nimewareview hadi whenever they come up to me, it's this is a familiar name, haini interest as far as people mentioning and putting people on, because niambie mtu sina idea. That thrills me sana, kutaka tu kusikia new names, new voices, new perspectives, which are rare ikija kwa our music practitioners. Then the EP, no skip EP. But pia nimekuwa my MWE lesson ya jana ni an artist, a jazz musician anaitwa Lady Blackbird. Nilisikiza debut album yake Black Acid Soul. I am obsessed. Yo, nilikuwa najifind nataka tu kusikia everything she has made. But I had to remember ni MWE, so just kept listening to the album na songs from the album. After kuzisikiza on Bandcamp, nisikiza Bandcamp, because tuende YouTube nitakusikiza tena. Like everything. Yo, I am enamored. So I've been in that space, that jazz space. Pia before that nimesikia Samara Joy. Leo pia nimesikia jazz album. And then the African Creative. Unaongelea album ya Lady Blackbird ama ya Michelle? I think unaongelea Lady Blackbird. Yo, kama hujui the African Creative, check out African Creative, one kazi wanafanya kwa hiyo space, the African Creative. Is in the names that exist in these spaces of ours. Check out the African Creative, they've commented hapo. Unaongelea what I've just mentioned. Kama ni hiyo inaitwa Black Acid Soul by Lady Blackbird. I was floored. Yo. Again, for my jazz people, but pia rakasikizangi jazz. Skiza, yo. I can't express it enough how enamored I am na yeye. Kwanza nilikuwa najiambia hiyo ni album, hiyo nanunua. Kwanza natafuta vinyl ya hiyo album. I need that vinyl. I need that vinyl. I need that vinyl for sure. So kama ni hiyo unaongelea, it's Black Acid Soul ni ya 2021 by Lady Blackbird. What a singer. As nilikuwa namaliza I have even before nione your tweet, now that the African creative is here, I want to also put them on the spot, kama vile nilieka Abi on the spot. Karori nawe pia on the spot. Shukran to Muriu for coming through and liking the video. Like the video if you have not. Reminder ya validation yangu na my survival as Sanaa kwa sana. No skip African creative. No skip Kenyan albums. Which are your no skip Kenyan albums? Na Karori, apart from Juliani as well, which are your no skip Kenyan albums? Yeah, so Muriu African creative, tajeni your no skip albums. Muriu umehata nikionyesha tu. Do you see the kind of names I want to see here? Amesema ya Masimaira. My kind of people. My kind of people. My kind of people. Inajua ni debut ya Mercy and it's the only Mercy full length because that's Mercy's Tabasamu. Yeah, 2000 and I forget the year. Early 2000. I forget the year. Ni moja tu that's Mercy's only album, which I reviewed for MWE in 2022. Kuna week nilikuwa nafanya Kenyan women, na not just Kenyan women, but nilikuwa to a specific era of Kenyan women. So I did Idi Achieng, I did Masimaira. That same week I did Susanna Owio. Please, again, show me any other Kenyan reviewer, critic, journalist. Show me. Anyway, that's not the point. That's my ego speaking. As Kendrick aliambia Drake, nafaa kunywa ayahuasca ni strip my ego from the bottom. Masimaira once came to a Sanaa kwa Sanaa Sunday session live on Instagram. Just so we are clear. Masimaira watched that aliachanga comment on the video on IG or YouTube. Please. So as Karori was saying earlier, just kind reminders. Why is that comment ya Karori hapa? Nsema pole kama nishai ku disrespect. Yo, impressive. So please. As far as this Kenyan music ish, man. Anyway. Alafu Idi Achieng pia alicommentingi kwa my review of her album, her 206 album, her debut album. Idi Achieng alikuwa a member of Nairobi City Ensemble. There goes some history nugget for you. Nairobi City Ensemble ilikuwa a group ile ilikuwa pia na Proxy Pressure. There goes some knowledge for you. Yeah, I know too much. This is unhealthy. Before your tweets, I've been it's curated by Bonn, BONN. That's the handle. Before your tweet, whenever I think about Kenyan jazz, I think about Michelle Gatwiku a lot. She stands in a pool of very few as far as Kenyan jazz vocalists. A pool of very few. And I usually think about where Michelle's music ingeenda. So you can use how Michelle sings and her phrasings. Sky Up Above is the name of the EP. And so when nimekuwa nikisikia Lady Blackbird jana, I've thought about Michelle Gatwiku as well. Man. Jazz vocalists are something else, and Michelle sits in that realm of artists. Na huku jazz vocalist pool is so small. But Sky Up Above, No Skip EP, Jack Muguna's Journey of the Soul, No Skip album. I have other albums. Now my albums would mostly be from 2020 backwards that na consider no skip albums. But tutafanya hiyo video tuone how the conversation will go. Nangoja Karori, nangoja list yako. Muriu amesema tu moja. Is that the only one Muriu? Unajua Muriu amesema tu Mwasimaira vile yeimba kijaka. So Karori alikuwa anasema I'm having so much fun. This is regarding MWE because ni 2 weeks into MWE tuko almost kumaliza. Tuko halfway. Na vile musema tukianza tunaanzanga before you know it huwa tunamaliza, so tuko na 2 weeks to go tumalize the music writer exercise. Napenda sana kuona review za watu, it's why I enjoy doing this, na na appreciate sana that tunasikiza albums and tunaandika our thoughts about our experiences with hizi albums and our feelings about them. I've been sitting with that a lot, your fact na your reality that tunasikiza bodies of work and you're writing our experiences, our feelings, our thoughts with them and about them. It's we don't see this a lot. And I'm so grateful sana for unanisikia? There we go, nimerudi. Sijui form ya gani. Ni a bit blurry but najua with time itarudi form. Iko sawa. So si kitu that na take for granted, na appreciate sana that tunakaa na project tunazisikiza na tunaandika about them. Tunafind time ya kusikiza, tunafind time ya kuandika about them na kutweet about kile tunasikiza. I love that so much. Ni kitu rare kuona, especially in our space because of our relationship na music and what music means to us na our existence. I've once said this kuhusu vile for us mziki ni entertainment. Mziki na arts ni entertainment, nothing beyond that most of the time. Then our relationship with albums may change a lot over time, but here we are tunasikiza bodies of work, whether ni EPs ama albums, na tunaandika about them kila siku, na appreciate sana 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 sana, na kuona ikiexist na nikifanya na my people is always something that I love a lot. Karori konasema I'm having so much fun. This time the plan was to listen to genres or artists I'd normally go for, but najikuta kwa white girl music so much. Kidogo algorithm imekuwa messed up. White girl. Hebu define ama describe white girl music for us, Karori, please. So Karori, as utatuambia kuhusu your reflections once we are done na hii exercise, so watu wanze kufikiria kuhusu the reflections. In 2 weeks time then we'll publish it kwa blog kama as I did for watu wali participate last year, na Muriu pia kumeniambia atatafuta time ajirushe ndani Utuambie as you're telling us what white girl music is, utatuambia kuhusu wewe na NF, wewe na NF, wewe na NF. Ulisikiza Dave? Yes. Nishajibu Abia kwa muuliza kuhusu hiyo tweet ilikuwa by nani. So as I said, you mentioned Jerai was there, Lisa was there, Costa was there, Sero was there, someone mentioned Dusk to Dawn, Nakue. Nigawait was the Dusk to Dawn. Wakadinali, I've mentioned them. I can say they were the only hip hop act, but nimekumbuka someone mentioned Lucky You. Someone mentioned Lucky You, yeah, Shane. Someone mentioned Lamunites ya Octopizo. Kulikuwa na Zaituni, Labor of Love. Kulikuwa na Mutoria, Happiness and We Don't Need Happiness na was it Dive-In? Na Dive-In. Kulikuwa na Sauti Soul, Midnight Train. I would, if I'm to say a no skip, I would mention their first two or mwanzo sana sana, which just came a long time, but yeah, of course someone mentioned Savage Level. Tabasamu na Imbangadi Kijaka, that was Muriu. Then akasema hakuna kama mimi, kazi unafanyia hip hop ni kubwa sana, nakumbuka nilikuwa that was earlier. Then wapo Oxy Pressure nikiongelea Idi ya Ching. Ilikuwa kuhusu nini, I think Mercy. Then no skips for Karori, other no skip albums ni Lisa Udur no na Frequency. EP ni From Migori with Love. Sija iskiza bado. Lisa Udur, even someone mentioned Lisa, as I said. Of course you would mention Frequency. I remember in 2023 ukisema how ndio unajua kuhusu Checkmate Mido, and yeah, you had to go and ukawatch our review ya 2020. We argued kuhusu Sela kwa hiyo album, and Moyo anasema Fungu la 10 ya Romi, mixtape ya Romi ya 2018. Anasema repertoire yangu ya Kenyan albums ni poor. Inakuanga hivyo. Unaweza kufikiria una discover yo. Anasema ya Roger, then Karori anakonka anasema Muriu Midnight Musings ni fire. Babo na Mufti wali review for their MWE, which I am in complete disagreement with, kwa sababu nikiuliza tunaweza sikia hiyo album wapi, mtatuambia nini? Where is that album? Where is the album? Anyway. Sema kabisa ni kama anisengenya kwa hiyo project. Then Muriu says niko na time kesho. Haya basi. Karori says NF ni wa roho. Wewe na NF. Wewe ranks. Kenyan upenda NF? Karori niambie, does Kenyan love NF? Hata Santan Dave sikusikiza, Cole sijasikiza. Mimi pia sijasikiza Dave bado, nilisikiza Cole. Nilisikiza Cole on imekuwa blurry. Nilisikiza Cole on day 12, day 12 only kuna sikiza a jazz album. I've been on my jazz this past few days. Abdullah Ibrahim, a jazz pianist from South Africa. Then nikaenda Samara Joy, then nikaenda Lady Blackbird. Then today pia imekuwa jazz. So sema so za call hiyo siku nilianza my day, nilisikiza Birthday Blizzard, sikuwa nimeisikiza, then nikasikiza The Fall Off, then nikasikiza my album of that day. Ranks alisikiza The Fall Off jana, so we've reviewed Labor of Love, available. Fun review. Ukifine time go watch it. Mwende pia mwone review yetu ya Riasu ya Nyashinsky. Nemwache comments kwa hizo videos. Then Karori says also Meet and Musings iko na pieces very familiar, beautiful body of work. Then he says najua yes yeah najua I know najua napenda NF. Kinana anapenda ngoma zake. So Muriu tunangoja uanze MWE hii wiki. Na Karori, hujatuambia what white girl music is. Na as we get into the last 2 weeks. Karori uliniambia una freestyle. Ni a day as it goes. Hauna list. Ulisema ni wewe unaenda a day vile zinakuja. For mimi wiki yangu ya mwisho najua iko na ni Kenyan music peke yake. So kuna previous years of MWE na themingi the week. This time haikuwa hivyo, but kuna certain bases and pillars that natumianga niki-create list yangu that I used, but the last week nili theme ni Kenyan music peke yake. Last year nilizispread, ilikuwa kwa wiki ndasikiza Kenyan project, so nikasikiza On Route ya Watendawili, or someone mentioned On Route kwa No Skip albums. Someone also mentioned We Cut Keys too. Yes. As I said earlier, I disagree with a lot of those takes on those responses. And I'll leave it there. We'll discuss further. Na pia nitakuambia that Roger akisikiza We Cut Keys too mara ya kwanza hakumalizanga. Anyway, which also happened akisikiza Victims of Madness in 2020. So nilisikiza Watendawili, nikasikiza Blinky, nikasikiza Kili Black, na nikasikiza Nina Ogot. Forgetting someone, I think so. But so for this time, wiki ya mwisho, nasikiza wa Kenya. Kuna project zilitoka that sijasikiza that I'm getting to. Because sijakuwa nikisikia Kenyan music, because I have done my work already. So mtu kama Abi anaendelea na ujenzi na the African creatives of the space, carrying it on. Yes, in a list that's Karori. Then anasema white girl music ni kina NF, Ren. Is this Bone or Boon? Sijui Boon. Like the recommendations and then watu sound almost the same, very white. Of course NF na Ren, hiyo realm moja. Abi anacheka. Am I lying, Abi? Interesting things. So Abi, nawe ulisema uja give up. What's happening with you na MWE? Hebu tuambie. Oh, I shared this kwa wale pia Abi ni a day as it goes. Kuna a project by Alice Ragoi, IJWS, I just wanna say, mnaweza iconsider. I mentioned this kwa stories a few days ago na pia kwa our Discord community. Muriu, shukran sana. Ndio uko hapa from the community, but Mufti ako huko, African Spinach ako huko, Irauka ako huko, Ricky ako huko, Hazel ako huko, Manmade Machine ako huko. Just brilliant things from that side, and we'll be building it even further as we go na after MWE, just keeping it. That was the idea. Ilikuwa just long overdue, but as I said kwa video ya kuongelea MWE ya huu mwaka ilisema tutaendelea na tutumia kuilaunch. Ranks pia huko, so people are there. Naona watu kama Nyanchama So speaking about interesting things, chanionyeshe. So Alice Ragoi, I just wanna say, na Jeras Molarity debut albums zao wote. So kwa wale wenye hamjamaliza orodha ama kama unatafuta, sometimes kuna watu wanasikiza tu albums in a day, ka jana Mufti, Hazel na African Spinach, na it's the 14th, najiambia hamna form. Mbona unasikiza albums mbili on the 14th? Shida iko wapi? And you have the Kenyan police giving people flowers in the streets. Form? Just asking, just curious, kutaka kuunderstand shida ilikuwa wapi. Hii hata siwezi pronounce nikijaribu. Inoskip ya Nyanchama. Hata nimeandika love notes kuihusu kama dedication. By Lois Kim. That it's Nyanchama, hata siko surprised. Nitumie notes nisome. Tuma notes nisome. For the first time, 15 votes and 16 likes. Amazing. Brilliant correspondence. Abi says, nimekuwa nikisikiza, ni kuandika online sijaandika. Nikiwa na time taziandika. Karori says, Nyanchama umeniconvince. Smart sana, hebu sikiza. Of course, mimi sio nitasikiza. My curiosity itanipeleka tu kuisikiza. Sijui kama bado Muriu ako inadi. Bryson Wayne amesema comment hapa. Acha nisome, then I'll direct Bryson somewhere, then tutazidi na hii conversation na yeye huko. Anasema Vicky Secrets by Steph Kapela pia ni no skip, kwanza during COVID. So hii ni album ya Steph Kapela ya 2020 or 21 2020, nikaisikiza for MWE the following year, so nilireview. Alafu pia Jon Snow pia alifanya MWE last year, so I reviewed that album. The review is available, so ningependa sana kupatana na Bryson kwa hiyo review to proceed na hii conversation juu niko na maoni as usual. Ona pia Wambui pia aliisikia pia. Nilipenda Viki Secrets, ilikuwa kwa list yangu ya 2024. So Wambui Karori na Bryson niwaone kwa hiyo review tafadhali, nitashukuru sana, then tunaweza zidi na haya mazungumzo. Ilikuwa ni sijui kama bado Muriu ako hapa. Hii hata ana pia Karori, unajua hii pia ni era yako, sidhani unaweza isoma, but ni Jovat Riddim Jovat Riddim. Alafu kuna hii hapa Fairground na Green Faces. yo. Ulikuwa unatoka Mesti unaingia Tao, unaitisha the latest Riddims ni gani? Seti. So hiyo holiday kani wiki moja, wiki mbili or whatever, utazisikiza then kurudi system. Kuna hii hapa Cardiac Strings, Contra, Bass Pack Riddim. Yo. That's it. Then there's something else with exchange discs. Again, back to the tactile nature of it, of our experiences na music previously. Hiyo kukumbuka who gave you the CD, ama uliitoa kwa nani, kama uliiba, ulipewa na kurudishanga. Hii Rasadam huyo alikuwa Arif wa Royalty by Black DC, mbaya sana tukiwa high school, na ilikuwa yake na iko na cardiac bass. So cardiac bass Riddim, to me, one of the best Riddims ever. Angalia MWE 2021, that's the playlist. MWE 2021 utaipata hapo. So I'll give another exclusive here for people. Another exclusive for you. Nimetaka sana kufanya a video on Riddims, na najua kuna watu hapa wanaweza taka kwa hiyo video ama kwa hiyo conversation. My exclusive tunapeana tu hapa. Jovat Riddim bado inabang, leave it to just let's before the actual video mention some of your favorite Riddims. Let's just see. I want to know. You can also help me with your video. Some of your favorite Riddims. Tunamaliza hii video actually. So this one has, let's see, ionekani. This one has this is Pasu Riddim. Then it has Paper Riddim, Pasu. Then it has Set It Off Riddim hapa. But kuna hii project here. Kuna hii project hapa, wagenge hao. Na hapa juu kuna The Godfather. Nonini and Punit. The era I come from. Naonesha tu miaka. So Bryson jiko umeiwai iko kwa, acha nione kama naweza itafuta hata tu hapa ni eke kwa comment, but iko kwa MWE playlist ya 2021. But pia nikushow kitype tu Steph Capella Vicky Secrets review, utapata tu hata na type sahi nione Steph Capella review what will come up kwa. Let's see. Kuna our Cypher. Then type Steph Capella Secrets. Vicky Secrets review. Where is that review? Yes, Steph Capella Vicky Secrets review. 4 years. 4 years ago. Damn. Yes. Nimeipata. Cha nitupe tu hapo kwa. Cha nitupe hapo. Jika ita au umeiwahi sawa hata. Ndio imetupa hata hapo. Sawa. Wewe na Karori tupatane kwa hiyo video. Shukran sana Bryson, na shukran sana for being here. Shukran sana. So Abi says hiyo cardiac base umetaja, mi cardiac base. Yo, I used to play cardiac bass vibaya. Abi, sijui what your favorite song on that rhythm is, or some of your favorites on that rhythm is. Muriu, mtu wetu wa reggae na meditation na marhythm. Major and minor. Major and minor. Kuna school nilikuwa kwa Mata, alafu walikuwa na play major and minor. The Taras, the Cecile. Split personality kwa hiyo list. I think niliandikanga juu najua last year Sugar Plum Plum was among my top songs kwa YouTube recap. Split personality. Yo. Random idea, Abi. Si tufanye very random idea. Si tufanye an OV sana kwa sana hangout ya kusikiza tu marhythm. Unaonaje? Tukam tu tusikie marhythm. Unaonaje? Then we can do the discussion there. Something intimate, please. Unajua wewe ni jina kubwa. Sanaa kwa sana is a small entity. So please. Something small. This is Abi who said, see, I'm not that young. Summer fling. Yeah, my final destination. Oh. Bangers. Gimme somebody sugar. Gimme. Yo. Sini wazee. kuna mix hata niwatumie hiyo mix hapa. Kuna mix nilikuwa kwa hiyo headspace on fast, nikatafuta mixes za kusikiza, and then kuna mix nilikama cross. Took me back. Kuna mix nilikama cross ya 2 hours. Acha niwaekee. Acha niwaseti hapo kwa comments. Acha niwaseti hapo kwa comments. Mwende msikize hiyo mix. For watu wangu nostalgia. Now this is nostalgia. Hii si ile hali ya conversation on my Discman na my tape na my iPod na my CD. Now this is nostalgia for real. Mwende msikize hiyo mix ya DJ Tofals. Nipeleka. So Karori amesema Summer Fling Riddim pia. I agree. Summer Fling, Summertime zilikuwa na bangers. Mavado's Final Destination, Final Destination. Crown Love Riddim. Anyway, miss Crown Love Riddim. It's been a long time. Someday bado uchezwa church. Allah. Ni hiyo, I hope. Maybe anasema ready when you are. Speaking of si ni wazee Karori of the idea ya Riddim, lakini event title itakuwa yako, na kama tunafanya Riddim nataka Rosmo Hando pia, then you have a deal. Hizi ni which conditions napatiwa hapa? Conditionalities. Kwenye tu ma Riddim nilikuwa nasema another of my fave message. Yeah. No sir, but the MP don't give a damn. Bulldozer don't poor people land. No sir, me a ban Jamaican. Message Riddim. Abi unafanya ni feel so seen. Hapo chorus. Saa Karori na Abi fanyeni event. Fanyeni event basi. Bryson ameenda akasikia review. Umemaliza kweli? Fast forward, umeweka ×2, Nasema listen to the review, agreed to the sound quality, but that album ili flow. Albums, we do not have that many great album makers. Making a body of work, a full-length body of work, ni difficult, ni tasking. Especially when see a culture that we have as far as how to consume music. It's difficult. Hope umeacha comment huko for the algo. Message Cecile, Richie Spice. Confidence to self if you wanna make it. Professor, Pressure, Ja Vinci, Kimani Mali. Shukran sana Bryson, shukran sana. anasema Abi, ujui CD zangu za kwanza kubai ilikuwa Rose Muhando na Westlife. Eh. Unaguswa sana. Anyway, sawa basi. Abi na Karori ndio hiyo. Unajua kazi yangu inakuanga hivyo ku bring people together, ndio hiyo basi, fanyeni event. Sawa, it's fine. So shukran sana, tumeka hapa 2 hours. This was not the intention, as a matter of fact. Not the intention. Naona comment yako Bryson. Shukran sana for being here. Niko na August Riddim MP3 August 2011. This is almost 15 years ago. Wild to think about. August 2011. Aya, as we finish this, ona watu wakina Bryson, my kind of people. Anasema mi my first CD ilikuwa Angabanga. My kind of people, wewe kutaja Angabanga, dubi. Wewe kutaja Muriu, kutaja kina Masimaira alia. My community. I hope you subscribe to the channel now that, my kind of people. My Angabanga still relevant. Kuna ngoma na Kitusua still relevant today, inaitwa kuna ngoja. Juu nafikiria ile ngoma ya Frank na Sua inaitwaje? Hiyo ni wanasiasa. Ile the black and white video ya 2014 somewhere there. But kuna hiyo sijui kama ni the same song. Kuna hata kwa show ya Sua ya Kicks and Bars celebration ya Kitusua 2 weeks ago. Kuna hiyo track iliplayiwa ile yenye Dubiz anasemanga mang'ombe ICU zina bleed maziwa. Yeah. Nyanchama anasema when you're gone ya Cecile ni my fave love song. Exactly. I know. That's different. When I know. It's a different. I was just remembering the name of the song. Asman tofauti. My favorite love song ever in the whole world. When you're gone. That's cardiac bass. Na confuse ngoja. I'm gonna love you when you're here with me and love you when you're gone. This past maybe 2 or so years nikirevisit Riddims, nikifikiria kuhusu Riddims, cause kulikuwa na hiyo debate ya Cecil versus Alaine. Nimekuwa nikifikiria sana. We can finish there. Juu nilikuwa nataka tumaliza na 2 points. Nataka kwanza kujua your favorite Riddim artists, some names, then now Alaine na Cecile. Nimekuwa nikifikiria sana. We'll have this discourse tukifanya hiyo event. Ama Abi na Karori wakifanya hiyo event. as the rain proliferates, kuna certain areas and bases that they hit, uko unaisikia uko za a lane can't do this, then unasikia a song uko za Cecil can't do yo our days, our glory days. Anyway. Rain plus reading. My album for the day about to change. Ona Karori. My album of the day. Or kwa cardiac base vibes akona this not a sad song, it's a love song. Alafu pia akona what's that song? Inanipotea. It's not a love song, it's a sad song, and then akona the other love song. It's itanisumbua, acha nitafute. Vibes. She holding on. Yeah. Long time. Of course, it's always F is crimes. For sure. Definitely. The versatility of vibes. Yeah, where is the love society? Destroy the ghetto family. Promise without a guarantee. Ay. Oh. Me don't have, ghetto youth. Yeah. Acha tu. Yo. Then akupatie romping shop, akupatie poor people land, akupatie disafidi good father, disafidi good father, good. Broken hearts Riddim. Ay. Taras akuimbie I'm blessed. Taras another person with range. Taras will give you I'm blessed. Atakupatia protect your people, Jah. Then atakupatia I'm Superman. She's my Lois Lane. Never met someone who I would give up everything. Jano, I'ma be there when you need me. I'ma be there when you cry, baby. I'm your lover till the sun turns gray. Cause you're beautiful, babe. Ooh. Yo. Ebu tufanye tiyo session ya Muriu. Then tuingie the dancehall side ya kina Fambo, kina Popcan, kina V6, kina Bini, kina Mavad. Yo. Kina Wayne Marshall, kina Gogo Club, Oh, kina TIFA. Kina bubblegum. Washroom. All or nothing. So give me all or nothing. God love me. Jah love me. Jah love. Tuingie ma One Rock kina Chris Martin. Kina Taras. Kina Conscience. Oh. Yo, unaona now tunaingia deeper into nostalgia. Anyway, Bryson alikuwa anasema kuna new girls in town kwa Riddim, kina Savannah, yes, Jazz, oni Elise, sijui how to pronounce jina yake, Ndela Ike. Kuna a session they did, the four of them, there's someone else nimesahau. Ilikuwa a jam session. That, again, that session, and that's the thing, wako na hiyo culture ya kujam na kufreestyle. Beautiful, beautiful. Nawajua. Mi kwanza nilianza kusikia Lila in 2020. Yes, ni ya BBC Extra. Yes, Savannah, Jazz, Lila Ike na Naomi. Rock and Groove Riddim. Yo, that session. That kwanza the lover of rhythm and dancehall culture and reggae culture, then the lover of improv na freestyle. Sasa nimeiweka hapo. What? Wild session. So listen to Rock and Groove Riddim, yeah, for sure. Karori akasema on it, and then he's there or was there Cartel. Then my all time fave ilikuwa nikiimba Tara Superwoman. Umeni convince fanya hiyo gig. Taras ile ashaikuwa celeb crush wangu, his voice na Taras changes Riddim. Maliza live sasa, unatua na nostalgia. Pole Abi, just had to go there. Nyanchama, hata mimi alikuwa my husband mbaya. Taras alikuwa Taras alikuwa na anawasha wildfires akiwambia protect the people ja. Abi na Nyanchama hapo huko tu. Napenda place hii session imeenda sana. Bryson na yeah, buyout reading pure note. Yes, ni pure note. Yeah. Tumalize by the way. Tumalize. Time Terrace alikuja na version nilikuwa nalia kwa audience. Now that this is where we have gone, hii live ilikuwa iishe differently. The thing though with ningependa sana kuplay one of their songs but sasa copyright. Ningependa sana kumaliza na Riddim TOK anasema ya mwisho. This session imekuwa tumeongelea Riddim. Tumeongelea Riddim. Love it. Tutafanya, we had it here first. Anaongeza volume sana kwa sana. Riddim hangout session imekuwa conceived here, so nyi mshakuwa invited. Nyi mshakuwa invited. I hope we do that so soon. Actually, just actualize it, tufanye tumalizane. So with that being said, shukran sana for joining. Actually, now that, because I wanted to finish na Michelle Gatwiku as well. Ilikuwa ni maliza na Michelle still, because Michelle, msikize Michelle Gatwiku Sky Up Above na muone our review of that EP. After you do so, I wanted to play Sundays. Let's do 2 songs. Kwani. Let's do 2 songs. This is Sanaa kwa sana. You can do 2 songs. Whether or not wata copyright the thing, since when have we cared about this as Sanaa kwa sana? Kukua struck ndio the different story. Since we are here, let's do 2. To capture the current mood that we are in. Then tumaliza na Michelle. To ease into wiki kuanza. So this has been so wonderful. So wonderful. Tulikuwa na ECT, Bnm Games, Ice Blood Gaming, Khasoha Pauline, Faith Ndathe, then African Creative, Brenda Naomi, Muriu, Bryson, Karori, Abi, Nyanchama. So beautiful, so beautiful. Shukran za dhati. Sana. Without copyright. Na venye mimi nakuanga anti Spotify. Hii session imekuwa amazing. Imenipeleka back to beauty ya hizi Sunday sessions. Zinaendanga tu places zitaenda bila any expectations, but tumejipata home in so many ways. Abi says much it is. Naeka pressure. Yeah, about so to me Spotify.
Fresh Air Productions. Enough respect going on to RF. Super Cooper. Love type and the case and videos on the scene.
Our very own.
Videos on the scene. Time for the youths to rise up. Listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Videos on the scene. Tell them nothing lose hope in life. No, you listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Videos on the scene. Tell them nothing lose hope in life. No, you see. Foundation and the future be the only thing, and the focus of the youths, and whether get a youths or the uptown youths, and it no matter strap on your Gideon boots, and spreading out the burn down corruption, burn drug abuse, and burn negativity in life for the youths, and we no 1% fight anymore, and we no 1% fight anymore, and rising, yeah, listen up, rising, yeah, listen up, rising, for the youths on the scene. Tell them nothing lose hope in life. No, you listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. For the youths on the scene. Tell them nothing lose hope in life. No, you see. Your whole life you've been talking talking about the way upon the door. You've been knocking on the door of success. For the time you not stress, but the pay I think of the other you working. In you me see the future leader and the future teacher and the future mother and the father of our children. And only you are control where your life goes. Only you are control where your life goes. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. See the youths on the scene. Tell them not to lose hope in life. No, you listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. See the youths on the scene. Tell them not to lose hope in life. No, you see. We no want no fighting in our yard. Tell them we no want no fighting in our yard. We no want no hate in our yard. Tell them we no want no hate in our yard. We no want no negativity. Tell them we no want no negativity. We no 1% fight anymore. And we no 1% fight anymore. Rising, yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. See the youths on the scene. Tell them not to lose hope in life. No, you listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. See the youths on the scene. Tell them not to lose hope in life. No, you listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. See the youths on the scene. Tell them not to lose hope in life. No, you listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. Yeah, listen up, rising. See the youths on the scene. Tell them not to lose hope in life. No, you see. See the youths on the scene. See the youths on the scene. See the youths on the scene.
The Great Waire. The same Riddim. Simatinia. Anaanzanga. It's the same Riddim. Protect me from my friends, oh Lord, and I will watch my foes. And now, turudi kidogo. Asante sana for being here, for joining this amazing Sunday session. It's been so much fun. Imenibamba sana sana sana. Tunaona kwa the next one, which itakuwa 2 weeks from now. Tutakuwa tumemaliza MWE, or maybe next week, depending on how the week goes. But 2 weeks from now, subscribe if you have not, like the video if you have not. Kama unajua kuna people who would be part of this community and would love being part of this community ya kuongelea tu mziki, share now to grow community as we look forward to that session ya Riddim. Asante sana sana sana. Tutumaliza na Michelle Gatwiko, whom you should be listening to. As you finish your week or finish your weekend or start your week,
Sundays, you feel like Sundays, like warm toasted bread and sunny side up eggs, a jazz record playing. Sundays, you feel like Sundays, like honey in my tea, a reason to believe in new beginnings. You remind me of my favorite things. I'm blown away every time we dance to La Vie en Rose and sing to April in Paris. Johnson. All that I want is for you to come away with me. Sundays, you feel like Sundays, like going outside and painting the sky, turn from blue to gray. Sundays, you feel like Sundays, like falling asleep to your favorite film, wake up wondering where day went. I'm blown away every time we dance to love you and sing to April in Palestine. Hamanora Johnson. All that I want is for you to come away with me. And I'll call it a day well spent if I spend it doing nothing with you. With you. And as the sky turns to gray and Monday's looming again, I'll wish every day was Sunday.
Oh, Michelle. Oh, Michelle. Oh, Michelle. Let's think of Michelle Kuleyuko and send all our love to Michelle because she deserves it all. First, Nyanchama says another celeb crush. Then Abby says singing along to Sundays is the only way to end this day, man. Yes, dance to la vie en rose. Then Nyanchama says the singing along is too cute. And with that, Kwaheri until the next time.